what it looked like for us for Fallujah was we go out and do like probing patrols, or take over like other ambushes' houses that we were getting ambushed at, so we can kind of like push the fight to them. But really, it was staying put in these stronghold compounds and just literally fighting like multiple times a day for 7+ months straight. That's what our level of involvement was. Because going door to door is just not feasible. The amount of rat lines, booby traps were kind of low back then, but the amount of rat lines and just like early warning that the fighters had against us is just insane. So it was crazy. Talking about Fallujah, it just seems fake.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you come out of a place like that, come back to the States, and a lot of people, just because of the experience, do one or two things. They'll either get out because the way they experience, or they'll carry that experience on to the next generation, pushing their career forward. Now you're a seasoned combat veteran, and you have a lot of institutional knowledge to bring to give the Marine Corps. And you chose to stay in, and you moved on in the special operations side.
Yeah, I ended up doing another sniper rotation with 2-1. We did Operation Steel Curtain back in 2005.
Okay.
And I got back in 2006, and that's when I'm like, I got to change. I wanted to grow more. I wanted to be challenged more. And
so at that time, you had went to Scout Sniper School.
Yep, already Scout Sniper.
Yeah.
So I came back from Fallujah with the sniper school, took over a team, did our training, did Steel Curtain as a sniper, came back, and at the time we did a lot of training now because we're doing the MSPF, the Maritime Special Purpose Force.
Yeah.
So now my sniper team is working with the Force Recon guys, the Recon guys, and so I'm getting tied into that world, and I'm like, wait, they have way better gear, way better missions, and they're not treated as bad as me.
And they had cooler hair.
It's way cooler hair, right?
Yeah.
And so we're floating back because we did a MEU over to Iraq for Steel Curtain. So we're done with Steel Curtain. And I'm like, dude, I gotta get out of here. And so I started to like mentally prepare to like, okay, how am I gonna train? Because I didn't know I still sucked at swimming. I barely made it to the sniper platoon selection because I sucked at swimming. And so I'm like, what do I gotta do to prepare to make it over there? So I already knew all the guys. All I really needed to do is like go test my mettle and like prove that I could be there. And that's the first thing I did when I got back. I took leave, put in my package, swam in like the YMCA. I sucked. I got yelled at for like going underwater. Then I showed up at like, I don't know, 4:30 in the morning at the pool deck. Yeah. I was actually roommates with Frank Simmons.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about serving with Frank.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. This time we're roommates, and he's still sleeping. And I like eat this banana. I have like the nervous craps because like I'm scared, dude. I'm about to go to this pool. I don't know any of these guys.
It's gonna be all day too. It's not
it's cold.
The whole recon indocs
so scary.
Like all day.
Everyone in my unit knows that I put my name on this paper, and you don't know what people are thinking. I'm gonna fail. Screw this guy. Like I don't know. Just the pressure was intense. Anytime I think you're kind of like pushed, that it's like anytime you're pushed to perform, it's kind of fun. But I also have the same feeling with a PFT. I have to go perform.
Yeah,
I can be average, and I know what happens if I'm average, or I can just go put out, and I kind of don't know what's going to happen after that. So, the rest is history after that. Yeah.
Yeah. You go to recon battalion, and then you deployed there.
No, so I screened for First Force Reconnaissance.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I made it over to Force, I stayed around there for probably like maybe 2 weeks. Then they sent me to RIP at 1st Recon Battalion, Recon Indoctrination Program.
Yeah.
And then after that, we had to pass the Force Indoct to make it to Force.
Yeah.
So it's like back and forth.
Yeah.
Which was crazy because there was like 4 guys training for the selection over at Bragg. And so every day was like a 20-mile rock, dude. It was like, and their walk was my run. And because these are like older dudes, seasoned, they know how to like move their bodies now. And I'm just like piss and vinegar, like just straight strength. And they're using technique. And I'm like, this sucks, dude. Like it was just constant repeat. So we're basically cannon fodder to help make them better, right?
Yeah.
So we're just following them along, and which obviously pays for us. We gain and benefit from it.
Yeah.
But it was definitely like a culture shock because I saw a level of professionalism. Because at the same time, the Detachment 1 guys were coming back into Force Reconnaissance because we didn't know, but Marsoc was in the works of transitioning from 1st Force Reconnaissance to 1st Marine Raider Battalion or Marine Special Operations Battalion. And we consumed Detachment 1 guys, which was our first Tier 1-ish unit. And these dudes were all just like the legends you hear about. You're like, I want to grow up and be like this person. And just titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys are my generation guys. In fact, I met one of them, came here yesterday. But it was a very big transition to see that. For a lot of people don't understand, before, the time frame that Cody's talking about here, before the early 2000s, the Marine Corps did not participate in SOCOM or JSOC. And so SOCOM essentially demanded the Marine Corps participate. The Marine Corps didn't want to give up the Recon community that wanted to keep it a Marine Corps asset. So they started with what's called Det 1, Detachment 1, and participated in SOCOM. Huge success. Now the SOCOM says, you're giving up your asset to us. And the Marine Corps says, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to keep Recon, and we're going to stand up something new. Which was Marsoc, Marine Special Operations Command,
Right?
And so that was the birthing of Marsoc, and also Marine Corps, by the way, does not have a JSOC element, and so the Marine Corps did not want to participate there either. So the Marine Corps gives people about 25 Marines a year actually go and support and rotate into JSOC.
What is it called? Like in the Hunger Games, like
You tribute.
Yeah, tribute. We give tributes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We give tributes away to special missions units, and we wish them all the best.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Yep. So so you were in the a big part of that, and you end up at Marsoc.
Yep.
And becoming a Raider.
Yep.
We were just talking to a couple of mutual friends there. Wayne Noel, long-time friend of mine, transitioned, kind of, what do you call it? Not transitioned, grandfathered over. Is that what we would call it?
Yep, grandfathered over.
Yeah.
Yep. There's a lot of great guys that grandfathered over, because at the same time we had a big program with. So we had, at the time when Marsoc started, we had 1st Battalion and 2nd Battalion. Our 3rd Battalion was our foreign military training unit, and they were doing really awesome stuff. Basically JSETs. FID across the world.
Yeah. Can you explain it what those are to the audience, like JSETs, FIDs?
Yep. I believe JSET stands for Joint Certification Exercise for Training.
Mm-hmm.
I think something like that. Basically what that means is we go train with a host nation force. We build them up in a capability, and we empower them to go do their mission in their own area. And we do that through joint training exercises. And then FID, Foreign Internal Defense, basically helping these units create and safeguard their people, their citizens, through training and our network of the U.S. military.
Very, very much the Army, Green Berets, or kind of that's their primary mission. And
basically train the militia, train the military, defend and protect. That's it.
I'm super proud that Smith & Wesson Firearms is a supporter of this show. I have been shooting Smith & Wesson Firearms since I was a kid. This is one of America's most patriotic companies that has been around 170 years. The Resilient Show is honored to partner with Smith & Wesson. I personally use Smith & Wesson Firearms every day for my everyday carry. I keep Smith & Wesson Firearms in my home for my home defense. When I'm out on the range practicing, it is a Smith & Wesson at the end of my grip. So check them out, and I hope you join me in carrying one of America's most iconic firearms.